Hey guys, welcome back to TH Sports. Today I wanted to try something different. Now as you all know, the NBA season is only a couple of months away, and I already can't wait. So I might have jumped the gun here, but this list I'll be going through what I believe is every NBA team's ones to watch player. So what exactly do I mean by ones to watch? Well basically, this is the player I'm most keen to see next season. Whether I hope for them to take a step up, try a new role, or just find the form that they're used to. It varies from team to team. Now this will be done in alphabetical order, and I've decided to put it in two videos, one being the Eastern Conference and the other being the Western Conference, which will come out next week. Just so I don't spend too much time on the one video. So in saying that, this video will be focusing on the Eastern Conference teams and who I believe is each team's one to watch player. As a little disclaimer, I know this might be a little bit too early, and I just want to mention that it's quite possible that some of these players will not be with their current team when you are watching this. So please keep that in mind, and this is just my opinion, so if you feel like there's a certain player that you'll be excited to see this season, please let me know down below. For the Hawks, I've gone with Cam Reddish. Now Cam Reddish is coming off what many people would say was a disappointing sophomore season. Although his minutes increased slightly to go along with his stats, his shooting percentage took a dive, which wasn't good considering his shooting percentage was something that he already needed to work on from his rookie season. Unfortunately for Cam, he suffered an Achilles injury during the sophomore season, which led to him only playing 26 games. However, he was able to put 4 games together in the playoffs, and his efficiency shot up to over 50% from the field and a ridiculous 64% from deep, averaging close to 13 points coming off the bench. Now Cam probably won't be able to keep up that efficiency going into next year, but it's a sign of him improving and has me very excited on what he can bring to the table in his upcoming season. With the Celtics, I've gone with Dennis Schroeder. In my opinion, Dennis Schroeder caught the short straw when it came to blame players for the Lakers losing in the first round. Yes, his numbers did take a little dip when it came to the playoffs, but it's so much easier to blame the guy that is playing his first season with the team than blame the guys that was part of the championship winning team just a year before. He signed a 1-year deal with Celtics at a very cheap rate, so I expect Schroeder to ball out in an attempt to hopefully get picked up by a team in the next season and earn a bigger contract. I really hope that Celtics trust him enough to start for the team because I really believe that he's a solid starting point guard for a contending team. Now if you know me, you'll know that I love Patty Mills. In fact, what Australia doesn't love Patty? Seeing Patty in a Nets uniform make a lot of San Antonio fans upset, and it'll be weird for him not to suit up for Greg Popovich's squad. However, I feel like Patty is better used on a team looking for a championship rather than a team looking to rebuild. His role in this will be interesting. It's more likely he'll have a similar role to what he had at the Spurs, although considering that, we never really know what's going to happen with Kyrie, and I can see Patty filling in as a good replacement if for whatever reason Kyrie is out. Patty is coming off a bronze medal Olympic campaign, and I expect him to bring some of that momentum onto the Nets. LaMelo Ball's rookie season was pretty good. He played some great games, showed us some flashy moves, and showed that he can compete with some of the best in the world when it comes to basketball. What I'm watching for LaMelo this season is to see if he can improve on his consistency. Yes, he had some outstanding games, but he also had some shockers. He was on a great run during his rookie campaign in the NBA, but after suffering an injury, he wasn't playing at that same level. Hopefully this season he can get back to those outstanding games, because there's no doubt in my mind, if he can get those numbers up, he could potentially be an MVP candidate in the future. Like many people that'll be watching the NBA this upcoming season, I'm intrigued to see how DeMar DeRozan and the rest of the Bulls will go. If Bulls were to play well this year and potentially make the playoffs, I believe that DeMar DeRozan will need to play the sidekick role to Zach LaVine. What I want to see from DeRozan is to embrace his sidekick role and come up with great plays when LaVine isn't able to, or if he's not on the court. His numbers will definitely take a dip, and he's playing on a much more talented roster, and so his touches will decrease. It'll be interesting to see if he's willing to sacrifice all this for a chance to compete for a championship. Who knows? In my opinion, Cleveland Cavaliers' backcourt is set. Sexton and Garland are fantastic guards, and I can see them taking this team to another level this season. Adding Mobley into the mix makes Cavaliers a much more exciting team, and I personally could see them make a run for the playoffs. All this makes for how they use Mobley. Will he be starting over Jarrett Allen, starting with Jarrett Allen, or even coming off the bench as an impact player? All this is really up to the coaching staff in Cleveland. But if they manage to get this one right, Cleveland could be a nice team to watch this upcoming season. I'll be stupid not to put the number 1 pick in the 2021 NBA draft as Detroit's ones to watch. He killed it in college, had a solid NBA summer league, but none of that counts if you can't put it all together on the NBA hardwood. Now obviously I'm not expecting Cade to lead them to a championship, let alone the playoffs in his first season. But what I do expect is to see some improvement on Detroit's record. He's an NBA ready player, the number 1 pick in the draft. Expectations for Cade will be sky high, and I'm hoping that he can meet them. Domantas Sabonis had an amazing year last year. He had averages of 20 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists, a big increase from the year before. and still somehow didn't make an All-NBA team last season. Sabonis was putting up Jokic/Doncic level numbers towards the end of the season, putting up games of 26 points, 19 rebounds, and 14 assists, or even 20 points, 20 rebounds, and 9 assists. This man can put up some stats, and it baffles me that more of the NBA aren't talking about him. I'm going out on a limb here, and I'm going to predict that Sabonis will be in the MVP conversation for the upcoming NBA season. The supporting cast around them isn't the greatest, but I keep an eye out on the Pacers this season, as I truly do see them as a dark horse. Only one word can describe how many NBA fans felt after Tyler Hero finished the second NBA season. Disappointing. Now, was the season that bad? No, not really. He finished with slightly better averages around the board, but it just felt like a lot of people feeling like they wanted more. One night he'd go scoring 20 or 30 points, the next he'll go for single digits. I think everyone knows that talent is obviously there for Hero, but I think the fans just want to see more consistency, because when he's on his game, no one can stop him, and he's a large piece of the puzzle for the Heat in the future. But when he's off, he's really off, so if he can improve the gap from his best games to his worst games, I think that would make a lot of people happy, including myself. For me, it was hard to come up with a player to watch from Milwaukee this season. I mean, you can always watch Giannis, but Giannis is just always going to be Giannis, putting up ridiculous numbers. Middleton I feel like took the step up last year that everyone wanted, and I feel the same can be said about Jrue Holiday. So here, I went with Jordan Nwora. Now Nwora only averaged 10 minutes a game last season, but he's showing some promise. In games where he got more than 30 minutes for the Bucks, he was able to average 26 points on very efficient scoring. When he represented Nigeria at the Olympics, he was able to average 21 points per game against some of the greatest competition. I only hope that he can establish himself as a force off the bench, and possibly make Milwaukee more scarier than what they already are. For the Knicks, I've decided to go with the newly traded former Celtic, Kemba Walker. Kemba's time in Boston probably didn't go as well as expected, having not really hit the heights that he was able to when he was steering the ship at Charlotte. Obviously last season, he was riddled with injuries and he was coming off knee surgery, so I was expected for his numbers to take a little dip. Now he's on the wrong side of 30, and many people believe that he will even take an even further dip coming into next season. However, I feel like his role at the Knicks will be very different to any role in the past for him. He's coming onto this team as a veteran presence. We all saw what happened to Randall in the playoffs last season. Having Kemba as a player that has been in the league for many years could really take the pressure off the young superstar. He needs to show his leadership. The Knicks are a fairly young team, and having a veteran who could still be one of the best players in his position could really help the team in making the next step. The Knicks are trying to do a Chris Paul to Phoenix move here, and I could see it potentially paying off. RJ Hampton probably didn't get the start that he wanted to with the Nuggets. Playing under Malone, who was notorious for sitting rookies, he was unable to make a real impact, only averaging about 10 minutes in 25 games. Things started to look up for Hampton once he got traded to Magic. At the Magic, he was able to get an increase in minutes and got the chance to showcase some of his talents. His minutes increased to 25 and he was able to average 11 points per game for his new team, which for a rookie, is not too bad. Hopefully in this upcoming season, RJ can further solidify his role, and maybe Magic can see him as their new starting shooting guard. Or maybe they see him as an impact player off the bench. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. If you've been on this channel before, you know how much I love this man. If you haven't, I highly recommend you watch my video on this player, because I feel like he's one that everyone should love. So it's no surprise for you guys that I feel like Matisse Thybulle is 76ers player to watch for this upcoming season. This man can defend. Full stop. In just his second season, he was already able to make the All-NBA defensive second team while coming off the bench. Now myself and many other people want to see Matisse start for the 76ers this season, but what's holding him back is his offense. For Matisse to be a regular starter for the 76ers, he really needs to develop an offensive weapon, like a three-pointer, or become more of a slasher. Because honestly, if he develops even just an average offensive game, 76ers would easily give him 30 minutes a night. He shows some promise in developing an offensive game for Australia at the Olympics, and hopefully coming off that bronze medal, he's able to have the confidence to take it a step further. To be completely honest, I don't really know much about Scottie Barnes, as I'm not too familiar with the college basketball. But seeing his NBA comparison being an athletic Draymond Green, I'm looking forward to see what he can do with the Raptors. Positionless basketball seems to be the way the NBA is going. Having a guy that can do it all is probably one of the best attributes you can have on a team. Need a bucket? Scottie will give it a go. Make a great pass? Scottie will do it. Make a stop on the defensive end? You can count on Scottie. If this guy plays to what I'm hearing, watch out for this guy, because seriously, this is the guy that you need on every championship team. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only person in the world that feels sorry for Kyle Kuzma. His first two seasons with the Lakers were great. Did he get caught up in the hype? Did he get lost playing as a backup for LeBron? I don't know, but honestly I feel like the Wizards have got an absolute steal in getting Kuzma. And I'm not even kidding. Where he fits in the Wizards would be very interesting, but honestly I could see him being a very good complementary third option to Bradley Beal and Rui Hachimura. He's free from LeBron's shackles, and we could finally see the potential that we thought Kuzma was going to reach at the Lakers. Like always, thanks for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you feel like there was a player I missed, or even a player that you're more excited to see this season, please drop it down in the comments below. And also, please stay tuned for next week, as I go over the ones to watch players from the Western Conference. Please like and subscribe, and have a good one.